Hey guys, Palsteron here, and today let's talk about some of the updates to the patch notes that have just been made by GGG. I was just perusing the PoE website, kind of looking for some inspiration, for some new ideas, when I saw that on the bottom right here, there were some changes to the patch notes. Because right now it's Monday in New Zealand, so they probably woke up, got some feedback, and they were like, okay, let's change up some stuff that we might have missed. If you guys don't know, they do that very often, and it's usually at the bottom of the post, but at the top here you can see right under the bug fixes, you can just scroll here. Let's go through some of the changes. Now the first thing addresses and clarifies something that a lot of people were fighting over on Reddit and also on my stream. We were talking about it quite a while. When do you actually start getting these gems? Because in the Q&A, Neon said that we're going to be able to get it from level 30 onwards, whereas in the patch notes it said Eternal Labyrinth. Now nobody was really sure, is that every labyrinth, and is it just that the wiki is wrong, or what's going on here? I'm not really sure, but they did change it to labyrinth, I guess, to make it more obvious. So from what I glean is you can transform your gem into a new transfigured gem even at level 30. You can go that level, or 32 or 33, I should say. You get your first ascendancy, and instead of a glove enchant, you can now actually get a cool transfigure gem. And I'm sure some of the rewards are going to be heavily weighted towards the higher lab tiers. However, it is good to know that on League Start, on your first lab, you can already potentially get a really cool skill gem that you might want to play. The second one is big. I just made a video about this, and this might have just been a coincidence that it got fixed right now. So if a GGG member watched my video, that's really cool that they fixed it this quickly. I was talking about how Cyclone it made no sense that Cyclone got nerfed. I said in the video that there has to be, like, there's probably a line missing or something, and turns out there was a little line missing, and it's kind of important. Because if Cyclone was shipped exactly like it would have been without this extra line, it would have lost like 30% of its AoE. But now we're getting plus 0.5 meters back on the base radius, which accounts for 5 of the 7 stages that you would have gotten, which means overall you're still going to lose like 5 to 7% of your AoE, but you don't have to ramp up anymore. So in the situations where you're leap slamming and then you're cycloning again, you're starting on your big AoE already. You don't have to ramp up over time. And the first hit deals 50% less damage, also gone. So overall, I would say it's roundabout as good as it used to be. So now we have a gem that doesn't have to be saved by a Transfigure gem. It's where it was. It's still not in a great state. It's Cyclone, but now we can at least hope that the Transfigure gem adds a ton on top. And since Vortex wasn't already nerfed enough, they also added a little bit more. Now the mana cost gets increased from 11 to 13 at level 1 and to 20 from to 25 from 20. I don't know. It's like, I don't know what to say about that, but sure. And then there's also another note for ethereal knives. Now, EK obviously lost the whole lingering blades functionality. So yeah, we already kind of knew that, or we could glean that from what they left out. But it also now loses 19% projectile speed, which is only the level 20 gem. So if you're scaling levels, which you most likely are, you might be losing up to 29% projectile speed, actually, which is not a small deal. And it lost the base duration, which was connected to these lingering blades, which also means it loses the duration tag. I'm not 100% sure what this affects. The only thing I could think about was that you cannot get +2 duration from your body armor anymore, which is kind of a big deal, because getting an easy +2 early on a unique chest can be quite valuable. And if you have the option to get proj or duration, that's usually cheaper than if you only have the option for proj. And at the end, we also had 2 new gem reveals. The first one was the Animate Guardian of Smiting, which I'm not really a minion guy, but it looks kind of cool. And the Animate Guardian will give you the Smite buff, so that is a lot of extra lightning damage. Could also be best in slot for SRS, so if you're planning on playing SRS Guardian, that is a pretty big reveal. However, the thing I'm most hyped about so far in the whole league is this little ball lightning. I already said that I would love to have a ball lightning that kind of swirls around you like in D4, would be pretty cool. But what we got instead is a totem ball lightning. So if you look here, you put down a ball lightning and then it just continuously zaps. Now, currently, I kind of stopped the time right now, and it seems like they are up for around about 1.4 to 1.6 seconds. Obviously, it could be some human mistake in there. So that is not a lot of duration, but that could just be the base duration. We don't really see any supports, so we don't know, is this AoE already buffed? Or how does it even work? Is it still projectile based? Because to me, it seems more like a chain. Also, I guess interesting to see about this ball lightning is it zaps immediately when it's put down. It doesn't seem like it has really a cast time. So I really hope it will scale with cast speed at all and not just be like another shitty Orb of Storms for endgame. The biggest question I have right now is how many of those can you have up at a time? Because in the reveal, they only have up to 2 up at a time. If you look here, for example, but that it doesn't seem to despawn. So when he tried casting the third one, it doesn't seem to despawn it. Maybe he just doesn't have the cast speed to support it, or he just wanted us to see the skill clearly. So maybe that's why he didn't spam them. But either way, this is going to have a maximum. Because if it doesn't, you can pre-spam 23 mines, and then the boss comes up, and you have these 23 static ball lightnings lingering on top of him, absolutely decimating him. So I just want to see where the maximum lies, where the duration lies, because especially on the left side of the tree with the Templar, mana stacking, Hierophant, which is already lightning based, you can easily get to both duration clusters, and you could basically make yourself better totems that can't die and presumably do a lot more damage because you don't need to bog down your damage with a spell totem support. And in terms of AoE, if you look at this, he's approaching the pack right here. And I just want you to see this. It seems like he's chaining almost. So when he puts it down, he's chaining several enemies, and they are chaining in between each other. And the AoE seems to be around about this. So we obviously have no idea if he's scaling AoE or if he's not. But in general, this looks incredible. This could be a really fun playstyle, but until we see the gem info, obviously we can't really say. I just wanted to share it with you guys because I'm pretty hyped to see how much damage this actually deals. Now, another reveal is actually a lot more hype than people give it credit for, the Pathfinder's Lupine Charm of the Raider. And this is not necessarily because of what it gives us, because it's kind of obvious. We already kind of know. These charms get into one of the, they fit into one of the new ascendancies. You can have up to 3 in case you guys are out of the loop. And the reason this reveal is hype is not because of what it gives you, but because of what it implies. So up till now, we got effects that were kind of like 20 to 30% as strong as these ascendancy nodes. So you would, for example, have a occultist node that gives you explodey, but only like 14% chance. Sounds pretty much on par. A lot of these effects were like that. And even the spell suppress, you can see it's 9% spell suppress. That is barely anything of the quartz infusion node. But now they give us 15% of magic flask effect, and that is half of what Nature's Boon gives us. So not only does that imply roll ranges, it also implies that something like +1 arrow is not out of the question, which is something that was highly debated. Would it be too strong to give you +1 arrow? PoE doesn't do stuff like 50% chance for +1 arrow. But now that we've seen 15% magic flask effect, bow builds might be getting even stronger. And I know there's a bit of a reach, but give me a break here. It is teaser season after all. But yeah, that's about it. I'm just here F5ing, waiting for something new to happen here. I'm in the uber hype stage right now. I just want to see all those transfigured gems. I want to know what I'm going to play. I will be putting out a video soon about what I currently have set up, unless there's some new transfigured gems that completely transforms that. But even then, it would maybe be hard to get that immediately on league start. So it would be good if you guys have a plan going into it, even if you want to divert from that later. And with that being said, since I still don't have a slogan, see you next time.